Hello guys, welcome back to another video. We are back again. I want us to talk about something that I posed a question on my WhatsApp group. I've asked this question to some people. That's why I'm holding my phone and I'll be looking down and I'll be saying something. I asked people that do they want to know when God said something to me. So I'll be looking down and reading what I wrote and the question that I posed. Because okay, let me just go back a little bit. Okay, let me just my God. Okay. I'm going to read the question that I've asked so that I'll be able to answer. Okay. So, one day, let me just read what I wrote and I asked this question. One day, God said to me, "What therefore God has joined together, let no man put asunder." I went to my Bible, searched for this verse, because I've never read it. I've always heard about it, but I've never read the verse. I never went through my Bible searching for it. I will hear it on weddings. I will hear about this verse when people are talking about marriages. I will hear it a lot, but not knowing where it is. Hence, I went to Google and Googled the verse. So I went and Googled it and I found it in Matthew. I think it's Matthew 19, and I think it's also in Mark. I can't remember Mark what. Mark 6, if I'm not mistaken, verse 9 something. But this is what I find out. Then the Bible, where I search for this verse, I've read it, and then found it very interesting. I found it very interesting, right? This is what I wrote on my WhatsApp. God goes on and said, "Even you, Emma, you don't have a right." What a strong word God has said to me. I have been struggling with this for the past few years in my life, asking myself, even me, what if I am getting hurt, cheated on, or my husband calls some other woman love, baby, on so and on. This is what I wrote on my status on WhatsApp, just thinking out loud, and I decided to share with the people what I've wrote and what I have found out, what God has said to me regarding my marriage. So yeah, it was a struggle indeed for me, but now I understand. I don't need to worry about that. God will take care of it. So my personal people, this is what I wrote. So my personal people, if I want, okay, I was asking, if you want me to do a video about this, just say hi, I will do it. My battles are not mine. Something I forgot that and I want to fight. I wanted to say, sometimes I fight my own battles. So see you on the comment section. This is something it's been in my mind, as hence I've been talking about marriages, seeing other marriages going through some trials, some tribulations. And I always say, when I talk to someone, I say, pray about your marriage and hear what God is saying about your marriage. What is God saying regarding your marriage? Not what other people are saying, but I will pray with you. But what God is giving you answer when you pray regarding your marriage, what God is saying to you personally, what scriptures God is referring you to when you are going through all those trials, going through all those fights, all those internal thoughts, wanting to make decision and wanting to quit sometimes and wanting to to find solution. And then I said, that's why this thing was always on my mind, and I keep saying to myself, what, this battle is not mine. What is going to happen in my marriage, that's none of my business. God will take care of that for me. Anything can happen, everything can happen. Whatever that is going to happen, I don't need to fight the battles myself. I need to surrender my marriage and give God to fight for me in my marriage. Do this, I will never do this. But the final person who has a final say in my marriage is God, because I believe that I am in this marriage because God wanted me to be in this marriage. Let me take you back about my life few years back. I'm trying to be so fast so that this cannot go on for a long time. I remember before I moved here, I will share with you guys a quick story time. A few years back, not staying together with my husband, because we had two homes that we're still having this one, and for me to adapt to come back and stay here, I didn't understand the life of a village. I didn't understand the life staying in a village, because there's a lot of things that involve in a village, and the pit toilet and stuff. It was a struggle for me to allow myself to come and stay here and be with my husband full time, because I came here, it was December. I remember the time I came back here, it was a struggle, as I've said. So when I was about to leave, the following day, the schools were being open. When I was about to leave, let's leave the music out because we can edit later. So when I was about to leave, and because of I was sitting, we were talking with my husband, and I tell him, he asked me, then how are you going to go back, and how things are going to be, and how we are just talking. It was after church, we were chilling and sitting down, and just it was a very hot summer because it was December. It was at the beginning of January because schools were opening. I can't remember the exact year. While we were talking, and after I explained to him how tomorrow we are going to wake up early, because at the following day schools were opening. So because schools were opening, I said no, the children will not go back to school the following day. They will go back the next day, because that day we are going to live here, and then we are going to travel back, so there's no need for them to go to school. So yeah, after I finished telling him that, then the Holy Spirit just instantly, I knew it was God. I knew it was not me. I knew it. He said to me, I want you to come and stay here. He said specifically, I want you to know that I am going to answer every prayer that you are going to pray to me when you are here. So if you go back where you want to go back, then everything there is up to you. I was like, I kept quiet. I didn't say anything. I didn't talk and say it to my husband immediately. I just kept quiet. I was like, I was so quiet and so shocked the way it was so clear to me, and it was so clear that God does not want me to go back to my birthplace, to the place where, because where we were staying, it is where I was raised, and we find that we had a home there. So we had this home, but we have not yet built. We still had a shack. So all of that, I was thinking the shack and everything, the pit toilet, water, there was no electricity at the time. There were a lot of things, and there were a lot of things going on between me and him in our marriage. there were a lot of things that were going on. So I said to myself, it is better if I will go and stay that side, and I will only see him when he comes to visit, and I will see him when I also come this side. It's okay, I've accepted the situation, and then it's fine as long as he takes care of the children, as long as we are still fine and we are cordial to each other. Because my husband wanted me to come and stay this side, I didn't want to come and stay this side because of the things that were going on in our marriage. Because we all know that in them, it was not our early age, our early days in a relationship. We were in this relationship for many years now, if I can say that. We are in a relationship for many years, and because of that, you know, every couple has their struggle. Even in our marriage, is not excluded. We have our own trials and our own stuff that were going on. So for me, I said, so we can avoid this thing, because we will see each other maybe 3 days a month, 2 days a month, and then I was okay with that. But God specifically said to me, I want you to come and stay this side. Immediately, I kept quiet. We went to sleep. We are coming back, because at the same time when the Holy Spirit said that to me, I knew exactly that I'm not going to go against him. I'm not going to go against God. I will not say no to him. I took the decision. I said, okay, I've heard you, I've listened to you, and yes, I made that decision immediately. And then but I didn't tell my husband immediately. I tell him when it was late at night. I said to him, I think tomorrow I'll go and look for space for the kids here at school. Then I will go and remove their reports and everything. I went, and it was a day that I did so many things in one day. And I remember that I'm sorry about the noise. Let me just check. So immediately I tell him what I was going to do, and yes, I did it. I come back, I registered my kid, and I settled in. It was a struggle for me at the beginning to adjust. It was a lot of things that were going on in our marriage. The place that we were in, I had to adjust. You know how to, when you what is this word? When you move from one province coming to another province, and then there's a lot of things, lot of differences, our languages, and everything else. I had to adjust, adapt, and try to. This side is too hot. Where I come from is cold. So there were a lot of things that I needed to adjust in. I managed to adjust. Sorry, but it was not easy, because I will go back home, maybe after a month or 2 months, I will visit and stay maybe a week. It was just like that. I will go back and visit, but I knew that I was going to stay here. It was not an instant thing. It was an instant thing, but for me to adjust everything, it took me a while to adjust to the environment, to the place, and to the condition that we were living in, because we were living in a shack. Now we had to start to build. We started to build it. The building, it was so fast in such a way that I don't know how we managed to build a house in such a period of time. And while we were building, and when we were finishing, close to finishing, my husband lost his job. He was not working. I think he stayed over a year not working while we are here together. Now, at the time, I didn't see why God wanted me to come and stay this side. I didn't know why God wanted. Even now, I still, because every day God reveals new things to me why he wanted me to come and stay this side at that time. So he lost his job. He stayed at home I think over a year and a half and a month and some month. I don't know how long, because when we moved here, he was not working. I'm trying to be so fast so that I can give you, I hope you will understand. And if you want me to slow down, you will say in the comment section so that we can all get the full story. So I managed to come, and we managed that year when he was still working. We managed to build so fast because we knew that God help us also. We knew that the work that he was working, it was only for a very period of time. He lost his job. He stayed at home over a year, not working, and then when times goes on, he finds a new job. He start working again. So for me to be here, I know that when we were separated and he was not working, it was so hard. But now he lost his job, but we were together. It was hard, but it was hard because we were now in one room. Everything that I have, everything that he has, we can join and we can live. And now it's no longer that I call him, we need this, and then he calls me and tell me I don't have this, so that we can able to help each other. But at the time, I can remember at the time that even the money that I was receiving from Sasa before I came to live here, it was cut off. I couldn't about 9 months without receiving a Sasa grant. But immediately that I came to stay this side, now I started to get the money that I didn't have. We went and we bought some clothes, and it was a very reasonable amount of money. And now we started to see what we can do. And then that's when we started to build, and he find a new job, and then we started to build. And it was not easy, as easy as you can say it was easy, but God has been showing up for us in a way that sometimes when I look back, I say wow. I just say wow. I know that you wanted me to be here for me, and also for him, and also for my kids. At the time, I thought it was only about us. I thought it was only about our family. Yes, God was doing this for our family, but I believe today, hence I've asked that question on my status, what God has said to me about our marriage. God was not looking only for us, and he was also looking for his community, his people, because God loves us so much that when he makes things for me, he wants to make it known to others that he can do it. If he has done it for me, he can also do it for you. The only thing that we need to do is open our ears and open our eyes and hear what God is saying, and obey what God is telling you what to do. I'm not saying that when you only read the word, yes, we can read the word and God can also guide us through the word, but the personal relationship that we have with God, God speaks with us through everything. He can speak to you through a prophet. He can speak to you through listening to something. He can speak to you through reading his word. In his word, he speaks every day. He can speak to you through the Holy Spirit. The relationship that you have with him, God can still speak to you. So yeah, that's what has happened. So hence that what he said to me on that what I've wrote there. God, I remember we were going on a prayer we were going to take 3 days away from home. So I was so worried on my way there. I was not, things when, as I've said that I stayed. Yes, we had so many challenges, as I've said, in our marriage. Things were not as shiny as like we all know. After I've stayed here, we are still having so many challenges, so many problems. Yes, we are having a very, I don't know how I'm going to put it. Our marriage is so unique that I sometimes look at it and then I say, God, you have carried me through so much, and you have carried me not because you wanted to teach. You wanted to teach me some things that I can also teach others through the experiences that I had in my marriage. So what God has taught me, I remember I was sitting on that taxi. I was so worried. I left home. Things were not good. I left home and going into a prayer. After I left, we had a quarrel, and you never. It's not a nice thing living at home and you have this in your heart that I've left something, but I'm going on a prayer. So why you are asking all yourself all this question? I remember when God said to me, sitting on that taxi, so worried, God said to me, the words that I wrote there, he said, what I have joined together, let no man put asunder. I kept quiet because I was sitting down, putting my head next to, I was like, you know when we are sitting and you feel like I can't, people are singing, are happy, are worshiping God, and you are there, but you are like sitting down, and I was putting my head next to the door and like laying my head like this. It was a long distance, so we were going to drive a very long distance, but God said those words to me. I kept quiet. I removed my head from that door and I sat straight, and he said yes. And he continued and he said to me, even you don't have a right to separate what I have joined together. I was like, while I wanted to take in all of that, I felt so much peace. I felt so much joy. Instant, I remember I take everything in, then I started to be like, I felt like now I'm healed, my heart is no more heavy. The thoughts that I had and everything that I had just went away. I started to join in and I started to sing, and I rejoiced, and I had a 3 days full of praise and prayer, and I was praying and thanking God that indeed, God, I do not need to worry about anything that comes to attack this marriage, because you said what you have joined together, no one has the right to put asunder. I don't need to worry about anything. Anyone who comes against my marriage will come against you. Anyone who wants to separate us, or any demon that is coming to separate us, you, God, you are going to be against that person. I believe that that's why I say to people, when you pray, what God is saying to you concerning your marriage. Are you carrying all the worries of your marriage? Are you stressed about everything that is going on in your marriage? Are you depressed? I'm not saying this because people will say that I am in denial. listen, whatever that is going to happen in the marriage, I cannot take any responsibility of it. It is not in my hands, it is on God's hands. And anyone that comes against it, God will deal with that person, not me. I don't need to fight my own battles. God will fight my battles for me. So when I remember that, let me be honest with you. Sometimes I am a human. Sometimes I will want to fight, I will want to speak, I will want to reason, I will want to do some things. But there are things that I know that are, when I look back and I remember and I say, but God, this is what you told me. I'm holding on what you have told me, that whatever you have joined together, let no man put asunder. You told me. I didn't know the verse. I don't need to be ignorant. I don't need to live anyhow and say, God, take care of my marriage. I don't mean to say I just need to live by, and I will do anything and I will say, God, take care of this. All the responsibility. I am living right. I am working my marriage. I am praying for my marriage. I am doing everything that I'm supposed to do as a wife. I am doing everything that I'm supposed to do. Even if I will say this, whatever that I come across in this marriage, I know that there's a man above who is looking down on this marriage and who will make sure that whatever that is going to happen, let it not be on me. Let it not be on me. So whatever that is going to happen, let it not be on me. Let not God be angry because I took a decision. Let not be that I made a foolish blunder and went and do something that I was told not to do. Because God told me specifically, not anybody. God told me, and I believe, and that whatever, anything that could happen in this marriage, God will take care of me. Because there's one thing about me that I know, that I don't have anything. I don't have anything that I trust. I don't have anything that I have. I don't have anything that is it is mine. I don't have anything. My kids are my kids, but they are not mine. They are the children of God. And if ever I come across a sickness, God will take care of it. If my child go through a season in her life or his life, God will take care of everything for me. I'm trying to say that whatever that is going to happen in this marriage, I don't have anything for me to fight for myself. The only person that I know that will fight for me is God. Whatever it is, sicknesses, finances, what else, anything, whatever you may think about that can come and attack a marriage, God will be the one responsible for it. God will be responsible for my kids. God will be responsible for the sicknesses. God will be responsible for the cheating. God will be responsible for, God will take every responsibility. God will take care of me, so that anything that is happening in this marriage, because I have obeyed Him, I have listened to Him when He tells me, come and sit here. When He said to me, do not, what I have joined together, do not put asunder. Do not come, do not try to end this marriage. Whatever that is going to happen, whatever, anything, whether good, whether bad, everything, I don't need to worry about anything. God will take care of everything. And I believe, let me tell you, God will shield you through through pain. God will protect you through pain. Sometimes, yes, those things you will feel that actually this thing should have hit me so hard, but because God is here, it hit me. I'm not in denial, but this thing come and hit me, but it has never left me dead. I'm still walking. I'm still alive. I'm still me. I still can do anything because God is taking care of everything that is happening in this marriage. So why worry when you have a God who can take all your worries? Why cry when you know that there's a person that you can go and cry to? Why you stress? Why do you have depression when you know that there is a God that you can go and tell him everything and he will carry you? I want you to listen to me and listen to me very good. I'm not saying if that thing if you are staying in a marriage and it is too much for you, don't take the decision that I'm taking, because that's why I say to you, I've asked the people that I've been praying with, have you consulted God? What God is saying about you? What God is saying about this marriage? Before you enter this marriage, have you asked God this? I should go into this marriage? Because for me, it is a different story. I remember before I got married, I went and prayed for this marriage. I know what God has said to me. And I also believe that if God needs me to get out of this marriage, God will say, get out. It's no longer safe for you. Because our God is a speaking God. Our God can show us things that we will say, if I was by myself, I could not have seen this. I still believe that our Father loved us so much that he does not want us to be in abusive relationship, that our Father does not want us to suffer. Our Father loved us so much that he will say it when it needs to be. But when God looked at us and see that I am doing something through this marriage and I'm building something through this marriage, God will also make sure that we are okay. Guys, I hope those people who have said I must do this video, they will get something from this, and they will understand that when I made the decision about my life, I always consult God and I always ask him questions. I've always when I pray, I said, God, but I heard what you said. Because of what I heard what you said, and I've listened to you, come through for me. And I also believe that whenever, as I've said, that God cannot force anyone to take a decision, but God can direct us to the right path. Whenever you are in a marriage, God is directing both of you in a direction that we all must take. Someone does not want to listen to God. That's God. He knows how he's going to take care of that person. So with all that being said, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope this video is not too long, and I hope you will get something and you will find something. And please stop worrying about the things that you will never change. Stop worrying about the things that you will never get anything from. Stop worrying about somebody who is not worrying about you. Worry about what you can do about your life and what God has said to you as an individual. And if you are in a marriage with a person who does not listen to God, and God is trusting you for that person, for his life, go to your knees, pray and pray. And when you know that you cannot take it anymore, and go back to God and say, Father, this is too much for me. I cannot handle it anymore. God will give you all the wisdom that you need. And I thank you. God bless you. And I love you. Stay blessed. Happy marriage life. And peace.